Does 1 Timothy 2:14 and Romans 5:12 contradict? Well, let's talk about that today. In 1 Timothy we read this, "And Adam was not deceived, but the woman, that of course being Eve, was deceived, and fell into transgression." In Romans we read, "Therefore, just as through one man, that of course being Adam, sin entered the world, and death through sin, and thus death spread through all men, because all sinned." So what are these two verses telling us? Point 1, Adam wasn't deceived. Part 2, Eve was deceived. Part 3, Eve fell into sin from transgression. Point 4, Adam caused sin to enter the world. Point 5, death was caused via sin. And the final point, all are sinners. These two passages seem to place the blame for sin on a separate person, Adam in Timothy and Eve in Romans. So is there an issue here? Well, let's go a bit further in this. In the Bible, Adam is actually the one blamed for the event. In Genesis chapter 2, this is said, "And the Lord God took the man, and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For the day of that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die." Don't you guys just love the KJV? So God told Adam all things may be eaten, except of course, the fruit on the forbidden tree. Keep in mind that Eve wasn't here yet. She comes in verse 22, and we're still on verse 17. Adam takes blame because he was specifically given the command. The Bible never says that Eve was actually told specifically by God that she was not supposed to do it, only that she knew of it. She said to the serpent, "But of the fruit of the trees, which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, We shall not eat of it, neither shall we touch it, lest she die." God, however, never said that you couldn't touch it, only that you shouldn't eat from it. This seems to enforce the idea that Adam told Eve this. If Adam did tell Eve this, it would make sense for the servant to ask her if God really said it, because if God didn't tell her specifically, and only Adam told her, she might think, Adam might be lying to me on this situation. But if God actually came up to her and was like, "Yo, don't eat it," she would know for certain that God didn't want her to do it. Adam sinned through willful disobedience because he ate the apple. Eve sinned by not listening to God's command and falling to deception. Adam wasn't deceived, he sinned willfully. Eve was deceived. By being deceived, she sinned. Adam caused the sin to engulf the world because he didn't stop Eve. And I'd say this contradiction is debunked.